Understanding a child's emotions can be challenging, especially when children seem to be overly emotional. Hello, I'm Samantha from Learning Success. This video is part of a series to help you, the parent, understand your child's emotions, so you can better help your child manage and express these emotions in a positive way. In this series, you'll get help from a variety of experts in the area of childhood emotions. Learning Success is sponsoring this series because we want to help. In today's video, we have Rachel Wagner. Rachel is an early childhood mental health specialist and national trainer for the DeVroe Center for Resilient Children. She began her career as a preschool teacher and counselor and later served as an early childhood mental health coordinator and consultant for several Head Start programs. She began one of New York State's first early childhood mental health consultation services. Now, Rachel travels the country speaking to groups on topics related to social, emotional health, and resilience. She provides reflective supervision to groups and individuals of consultants, coaches, and leaders. Rachel is a passionate speaker, a dedicated listener, and an advocate for children who communicate in unique ways. Let's see what Rachel has to say about helping children manage emotions.
Hi everyone, my name is Rachel Wagner. I'm an early childhood mental health specialist and national trainer for the DeVroe Center for Resilient Children. I am a former preschool teacher and I am a mom to 4 amazing kids. I've been asked to do a quick video for you today about kids who have intense emotions, kids who have big feelings and maybe big behaviors because of it. So we're talking about kids who melt down, kids who flip out, kids who whine or sort of fall apart at things that you might not think are such a big deal. And as we dig in today, I would encourage you to grab a scratched piece of paper and a marker or a pencil, whatever you can handy, to jot down some tips. So as we're thinking about our kids with big feelings, they're communicating something, they're telling us something. And so when we see these behaviors, even though it's hard, the first thing we need to do is we need to wonder. We need to wonder what is going on below the surface. Kids don't just do stuff for no reason. There's always a reason. Behavior is communication. So what's underneath? And it's usually a big feeling. And the next thing we need to ask ourselves is, what do I want for my child? And what I think we all want for our kids is for them to have the ability to cope with their feelings. If you're going to be a big feelings person for the rest of your life, you're going to need to learn some coping strategies. So how do we do that? Well, I am the author of a strategy called Flip It, which is a 4-step strategy that we can use with kids when they're having big feelings. Here's where your pen and paper come in handy. I want you to write down the acronym of Flip It, which is F-L-I-P. I want you to write it really big on your scratch piece of paper, your post-it, wherever you got it, just write flip. So here's what we're going to do. When kids are having big, difficult feelings, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to acknowledge the feeling. If we don't name it, we can't ever learn to cope with it. So we have to give feelings names, and we can't assume kids know exactly what's going on. So we've got to help them figure out the feeling. The next thing we have to do is we have to give feelings boundaries. As grown-ups, we have feelings and we know we're not allowed to just do whatever we want. We have boundaries. So kids need limits. So the second step in the process is limits. The third step in the process is inquiries, where we ask kids to think through their problems, because I want kids who can solve their own problems, not always come to me, right? Mom, mom, mom. When we do inquiries with kids, we're empowering them to think for themselves. And then the last step in the process is prompts. And this is where we can offer our suggestions. And what we tend to do is skip right to prompts. We tell kids how to fix things. But now I'm telling you to wait until step 4 of the process. So here's what it might sound like. It might sound like this. Let's say you've got a kiddo who is having a hard time going to bed. Super big feelings, super whiny, super upset when they need to sleep in their own bed. They want to sleep with you. And the first thing we have to do is start with feelings. We have to figure out what's going on that's so intense. And maybe it's fear, maybe it's wanting connection, maybe it's not feeling tired. And we have to get to the root, and every kiddo is different. So let's just imagine for for imagination's sake, that we've got a kiddo who's scared. And so we'll say, I see that you don't want to sleep in your own bed. You're feeling really scared. It's a powerful thing just to do that. And the limit will be different in every house, but maybe in your house, the limit is we all sleep in our own beds. And so then the inquiry is, how can we help you feel safe in your own bed? And if a child can't answer that, then we've got to come to prompts. What are some ideas? What are some things we can do? And I know in my own household, I had a kiddo who had a hard time sleeping in his own bed, and he was 4 at the time, and we got him a little CD player and books on CD, and when he'd wake up and feel scared, he'd put on a book. And now he's 11, and every once in a while in the middle of the night, I still hear one of those books click on. So that is the flip process, and I encourage you to think about trying it, but expect that it won't work the first time. Every strategy requires consistency, so I encourage you to stick with it. The last thing I'll say to you is that if you're having a hard time doing a flip, it's probably because you're having your own big feelings, and that's okay. So we should stop when we're having a hard time doing a flip and flip ourselves. What are you feeling? What's going on inside of you? What are your boundaries? What do you need to feel better? And go from there. Then you'll be more ready to do this with your kiddos. That's it. That was a quick little info session. What I will say to leave you with is big feelings are big communication, and to always start with a feeling step. It will be your guide. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Rachel. Communication really plays a vital role to how we handle our children's emotions. So does being open with each other. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to share it on social media. Use the hashtag #BetterEmotions. And remember, you've got this. The fact that you're here watching this video means you're an amazing parent. And that's a wonderful thing to be.